So the social habitat in a city it's a pretty important place, because it's where the social habitat is the kind of place, if healthy, is going to allow the generation of new ideas that we come up with in our work to flourish, if the time is right. And we all know that ideas bubble up and the time isn't right, and they don't happen. But if our social habitat is hostile, no good ideas rise. If our social habitat is one that is looking for new ideas, wants to try them out, wants to experiment, wants to see if they lead to even more new ideas, that would be a healthy aspect of our social habitat. The other piece is just simply, the social habitat is in between our physical environment, which is changing because climate may be changing, or because we're physically changing our habitat with our work. That has an impact on how we show up in our work, but that always travels through our social habitat, because our social habitat is the place where we choose to or not be receptive to what's going on around in the world, and then whether we adjust. The critical thing, though, about our social habitat is to understand that it is both the individual is in play, but also the collective. If each of us are not paying attention, then collectively we're not going to pay attention. It does not mean that everyone needs to pay attention to every single thing that's going on, because the beauty of the city is the way we differentiate ourselves with our interests. Someone will be chasing the important idea and we'll share it with the rest of us, and when the time is right, we'll all shift and adjust, and then we'll adjust our work, and then if something bad's going on, we'll adjust, or if we want something simply better, we can do that. But it is critical that the individual be part of the social habitat, and realize and accept that how we show up for just about anything affects how anyone else can show up, or even whether or not we're going to clue into what's going on around us. Cities are the product of our own pursuit of the things we wish to do, the things that we see to improve the world around us. Well, one of the ways I look at social habitat is our receptivity to the rest of the world around us. So one way we could look at that simply when we think about local food or urban agriculture is this desire that seems to be growing and growing in the city of Edmonton, for example, around eating local food rather than transporting food in from way far away into Edmonton. One of the benefits, of course, of growing local food is that the cost, whether it be a financial dollar cost or an environmental cost of pollution, for example, of bringing tomatoes way far in and trucking them into Edmonton, is totally different if we grow them here. And of course, we're a more resilient city if we can provide our own food, because all of a sudden, if a bridge in Washington falls down, our supply of food is not hindered because we can handle it here. I would posit we need both to be truly resilient, because sometimes things fail locally and we need supplies from somewhere else. But the social piece here really is around, and it's kind of like that grout thing again, where we make choices and we make them in response to the world around us. And the social piece really is also around the degree of receptivity we have to acknowledging what's happening around the world, or in the world around us, right? So I imagine it at times it's like a tap, right? So when the tap's off, there's no feedback coming back to us, where we may be oblivious about the choices that we make with respect to our food. The tap could be full tilt open, where there's way too much information coming at us and we might not actually be able to shift and adjust as necessary because it's just too much. And then there's a delicate balance in that tap and that opening where we get just enough information that we're getting the feedback that we need to be able to shift and adjust to meet our needs well. Like there's something about what's going on inside each of us and then inside of us collectively about what kind of information we're ready to take in and when. And we all know that typically we're not really prepared to change any of our behaviors until we're uncomfortable enough, right? Yes. So there's something about for each of us and all of us to know, okay, so how much more information can I take so that I'll create just enough discomfort that I might choose to make some different choices, but not so much information that I'm really just going to shift into denial.